on his fierce fighting. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel has gone on the offensive and every member of Hamas is a dead man. Around 230 people will be the first Indian nationals to fly back from Israel under Operation Ajay, the Ministry of External Affairs MEA said, adding that the Indian Air Force could be robbed into the bring Indians back home from the war-hit country. India and China held the 20th round of Corps Commander level talks at Jusul-Molduk border meeting point on the Indian side on Monday and Tuesday after nearly 2 months. Israeli strikes targeted Syria's 2 main airports on Thursday, Syrian state television said in the first such attack since Hamas assault on Israel at the weekend triggered fierce fighting. Israeli strikes targeted Syria's 2 main airports on Thursday, Syrian state television said in the first such attack since the Hamas assault on Israel at the weekend triggered fierce fighting. Israeli strikes have repeatedly caused the grounding of flights at the airports in Aleppo and the capital Damascus, both of which are controlled by the government of war-torn Syria. The latest strikes came as Hamas and Israel treated heavy fire for a 6th day after hundreds of Hamas gunmen stormed across Gaza border into Israel on Saturday and killed more than 1,000 civilians. They also came as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Israel and asked after Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi in a telephone call with his Syrian counterpart Bashar al-Assad called on Arab and Islamic countries to cooperate in confronting Israel. During more than a decade of war in Syria, Israel has launched hundreds of airstrikes on its northern neighbor, primarily targeting Iran-backed forces of Hezbollah fighters as well as Syrian army positions. Israel rarely comments on individual strikes it carries out on Syria, but it has repeatedly said it would not allow its arch foe, Iran, which supports Assad's government, to expand its footprint there. Iran, which backs Hamas, on Saturday celebrated Hamas' assault on Israel, though it insisted it was not involved in it. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Israel to show support after attacks by Hamas. He assured Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of U.S.'s support and told him U.S. is not going anywhere. It has been reported that Blinken will also try to help secure the release of hostages kidnapped by Hamas, some thought to be Americans, and advance talks with Israelis and Egyptians on providing a safe passage for Gaza civilians out of the enclave before a possible Israeli ground invasion. Meanwhile, addressing the press, Blinken said U.S. is supplying ammunition and other defense materials to Israel, while stating that any adversary thinking of taking advantage of the current crisis to attack Israel should not do it.
We're delivering on our word, supplying ammunition, interceptors, to replenish Israel's Iron Dome, alongside other defense materiel. First shipments of U.S. military support have already arrived in Israel, and more is on the way. As Israel's defense needs evolve, we will work with Congress to make sure that they're met. And I can tell you, there is overwhelming bipartisan support in our Congress for Israel's security. Here in Israel and everywhere, we will reaffirm the crystal clear warning that President Biden issued yesterday to any adversary, state or non-state, thinking of taking advantage of the current crisis to attack Israel. Don't. The United States has Israel's back.
India and China held the 20th round of Corps Commander level talks at Trusul Moldo border meeting point on the Indian side of Monday and Tuesday after nearly 2 months. According to reports, though no major breakthrough was achieved, Ministry of External Affairs said both sides agreed to maintain the momentum of dialogue through military and diplomatic mechanisms while committing to maintain peace in the border areas in the interim. The last talk was held in August, where India pressed for access to all patrolling points along the LAC. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held press conference together with his Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant, to announce the establishment of a government of national emergency, together with the opposition Blue and White Party led by a former IDF Chief of Staff and Defense Minister, Benny Gantz, who also took part. The press conference came after Netanyahu spoke personally for the 4th time since the Hamas attack. The Jewish Israel nation is united and now its leadership is also united, declared Netanyahu. Calling Hamas worse than ISIS, Netanyahu listed some of the atrocities committed on Saturday, including the burning of people alive. He added that every family in Israel is in some way connected to a victim of the attacks. Israel will and fight together for its home, he added, and described the unprecedented support that Israel has received from world leaders. Israel has gone on the offensive and every member of Hamas is a dead man, he declared. We'll take a short break. Keep watching.
DDU-GKY is sponsored by Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, and monitored by the Nagaland State Rural Livelihood Mission, Government of Nagaland. We teach them about soft skill, English, time management, teamwork, and in computer we teach them the basic thing, which is how to work on Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint presentation.
Welcome back. Moving further, around 230 people will be the first Indian nationals to fly back from Israel under Operation Ajay, the Ministry of External Affairs said on Thursday, adding that the Indian Air Force could also be roped in to bring Indians back home from the war-hit country. A charter flight will reach Tel Aviv today later in the evening. It is expected to get 230 passengers on board. We have all options, but the role of IAF can't be ruled out, MEA spokesperson Arundam Bakshi told reporters in a weekly briefing. The flight is likely to land in India on Friday morning, Bakshi added. On Wednesday, the government announced Operation Ajay to facilitate the return of Indian citizens who wish to come home from Israel, which is engaged in a conflict with Hamas, the Gaza-based terrorist group, since October 7, when Hamas terrorists crossed over to Israel, killing scores of citizens and taking hostages.
Aware of the developments in Israel. As announced by External Affairs Minister yesterday, Operation Ajay has been launched to facilitate the return from Israel of our citizens who wish to come back. The first charter flight will be reaching Tel Aviv later tonight to pick up Indian citizens and is likely to return to India tomorrow morning. We will share with you information about further flights as they are finalized. This is still an evolving situation. You are aware, External Affairs Minister took a preparatory meeting earlier in the day. We're also in touch with our, of course, with our embassy in Tel Aviv, our representative office in Ramallah, as well as with our neighboring, the missions in our neighboring, in the neighboring countries there, particularly Jordan, Syria, Egypt, etc. And we are keeping a close watch on developments as well as what steps we need to take to assist Indian citizens who are in Israel. Let me first look at Operation Ajay. Look, as I said, the flight is expected to, the ferry flight is expected to reach today later in the evening, and then hopefully they'll pick up passengers and come back tomorrow morning. We expect, I think it can carry about 230 odd passengers. That's what we are hoping can fill it up, but depending, look, this number is broad. You know, how many people can get onto a flight is determined by various factors, including what is the flight parameters. So let's say in that range, we were trying to work that out. So that was one. Do we have, आपने पूछा था संदीप जी कि हमारे वायुसेना के अगर जी हमारे पास सारे ऑप्शंस हैं, जो ज़रूरत पड़ेगा हम वो यूज़ करेंगे. अभी के लिए चार्टर फ्लाइट गई हैं, पर जैसे हमने कहा हमने पुराने कुछ ऐसे स्थितियों में हमारे वायुसेना का भी असिस्टेंस लिया है. तो अभी के लिए हम अभी चार्टर फ्लाइट देख रहे हैं, पर ये मैं रूल आउट नहीं करूँगा. There was a query, Siddhant, about people being taken on this side. Look, that I think you would ask the Israeli embassy. We have chartered a flight for bringing people back. How it happens, talk to the charter organization and the embassy. I think is the best to answer your query on that one. There's no barter. Then there was a query of how many Indians wahan pe. I think Meghna, you asked that question. How many Indians? Look, this is a dynamic situation. It's evolving. There are a lot of people. In fact, I would request Indians in Israel, if you haven't registered with the embassy, please do register with the embassy. But we are taking it based on the number of flights. So today's flights, we have the numbers that are there, and we will have more flights depending on the demand for them. So at this point, we are trying to address it as
the all-out war of Israel against the Palestinian terror group Hamas entered day 6 on Thursday. In retaliation to Hamas atrocities on Israel's soil, Israel Defense Forces continue to pummel Palestinian terror assets in Gaza. Meanwhile, Russian President Putin expressed his concern over the loss of civilian lives. He also urged both sides to aim for minimum loss of civilian population, including women, children. Russian President remarks came at a time when Hamas' indiscriminate massacring of children in Israel was confirmed by US President Biden. Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel on October 7, firing a barrage of rockets into the country. In retaliation, Israel is leaving no stone unturned to avenge the death of Israelis killed by Hamas terror groups. As per Israel Defense Forces, the number of Israelis killed during Hamas invasion over the weekend rose to 1,200. General Secretary of Congress Priyanka Gandhi on Thursday, while addressing a rally in Madhya Pradesh's Mandla district, said maximum number of girls who go missing in the country are reported from Madhya Pradesh. She said 1.5 lakh women and girls have gone missing during the BJP rule in the state. She also said that 17 incidents of rape.
आपका जो समाज है इसके साथ बहुत अत्याचार हुआ है. आपने देखे होंगे इतने सारे जो वीडियो वायरल हुए हैं. देश में प्रदेश में सबसे ज्यादा बच्चियों को यहीं पे मध्य प्रदेश में यहीं पे गायब हो रही हैं. सबसे ज्यादा बच्चियां, 1.5 लाख बच्चियां और महिलाएं गायब हो गई हैं इनके राज्य में. हर रोज 17 बलात्कार होते हैं. आप सोचिए बहनें, हर रोज जब आपकी बच्चियां बाहर निकलती हैं आपको डर लगता होगा कि आएंगी वापस कि नहीं, या कुछ हो तो नहीं जाएगा. ये सरकार चल रही है. उज्जैन की घटना तो आपने देखी ही है. और आदिवासी जनों पर, आप पर जो अत्याचार बरसाए जा रहे हैं उनका अब कोई मुकाबला नहीं है. पूरे देश में मध्य प्रदेश उनमें नंबर 1 हो गया है. तो देखिए, यहाँ की जो परिस्थितियां हैं वो मुश्किल होती चली जा रही हैं. आपको रोजगार नहीं मिल रहा है, आपको वन पर अधिकार नहीं मिल रहे हैं, यहाँ पे अत्याचार बढ़ रहे हैं, तो पलायन तो होगा ही ना. ये देखकर इतना दुख होता है कि ऐसे बड़े बड़े शहीदों की धरती पर यहां से लोग छोड़ के जा रहे हैं रोजगार लेने के लिए, और यहां पर रोजगार आपके लिए पैदा नहीं कर रहे हैं.
In another boost, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma
এতিয়া তেওঁলোকে প্ৰত্যেক মাহৰ 10 তাৰিখে 1250 টকা তেওঁলোকৰ একাউণ্টত চৰকাৰে প্ৰত্যেক মাহৰ 10 তাৰিখে জমা দিব. ইয়াৰে 250 টকা আমি বিদ্যুৎ পৰিষদৰ মাচুল দিবৰ বাবে দিওঁ, 400 টকা আমি মেডিকেল ফেচিলিটিজৰ কাৰণে দিওঁ আৰু ঘৰত 2 কেজি দালি আৰু 2 কেজি চেনি কিনিবৰ বাবে আমি যোগান ধৰোঁ তাৰ উপৰিও 170 টকা আমি ফলমূল কিনিবৰ বাবে আৰু কোভিডৰ সময়ত মহিলাসকলে সৰু সৰু ধাৰ লোৱাৰ খবৰ আমাৰ লগত আছিলে 2000-1000 টকা ঘৰৰ কাষৰ মানুহৰ পৰা সেইবাবে এই ধাৰসমূহ মাৰিবৰ বাবেও আমি 170 টকাকৈ প্ৰত্যেক মাহত আমি আই মাতৃসকলক যোগান ধৰোঁ এই ধৰণে অৰুণোদয় 1250 টকা আমি খৰচ কৰিবৰ বাবে ৰাইজক পৰামৰ্শ দিওঁ আৰু অৰুণোদয় তলত অন্তৰ্ভুক্ত কৰিলোঁ আৰু বৰ্তমান অৰুণোদয় হিতাধিকাৰী 27 লাখলৈ বৃদ্ধি পালে অনাগত দিনত আৰু 5 লাখ মহিলাক আমি অৰুণোদয় আঁচনি দিম আমাৰ টাৰ্গেট হ'ল 32 লাখ অসমত 62 লাখ পৰিয়ালত ৰেচন কাৰ্ড আছে কি ধৰণে উপকৃত কৰিছে তাৰ বিষয়ে আমি সকলো অৱগত যোৱাবাৰ মই যোৰহাটত আহোঁতে টুকলাই টি ৰিচাৰ্জ চেণ্টাৰত আহিছিলোঁ তেওঁলোকক 10 কোটি টকাৰ এটা আৰ্থিক সহায় দিয়াৰ মই প্ৰতিশ্ৰুতি দিছিলোঁ আজি সেই প্ৰতিশ্ৰুতিও আমি পালন কৰিলোঁ 10 কোটি টকা আমি তেওঁলোকক আজিৰ সভাতে আগবঢ়ালোঁ আমাৰ যোৰহাটৰ এটা প্ৰতিষ্ঠিত বেংক লখিমী বেংক আমাৰ সেই বেংকৰ কৰ্পৰাছৰ বাবেও আজি আমি 3 কোটি টকা আগবঢ়ালোঁ ইয়াৰ উপৰিও অভিনৱ বিন্দা ফাউণ্ডেশ্যন অইল ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু NRL অসম চৰকাৰ এই 4টা প্ৰতিষ্ঠানে লগ লাগি যোৰহাটৰ এথলেটিকসকলৰ বাবে এটা আমি হাই পাৰফৰ্মেন্স চেণ্টাৰ স্থাপন কৰিছোঁ প্ৰায় 23 কোটি টকা আমি ইয়াত ব্যয় কৰিছোঁ বছৰি 2.5 কোটি টকাকৈ ইয়াৰ পৰিচালনাৰ দায়িত্ব ৰাজ্য চৰকাৰে ল'ব ই ভাৰতৰ ভিতৰতে এটা অত্যন্ত আধুনিক সৰ্বশ্ৰেষ্ঠ হাই পাৰফৰ্মেন্স চেণ্টাৰ হ'ব যাৰ জৰিয়তে এথলেটিকসকলে তেওঁলোকৰ ক্ৰীড়াৰ প্ৰতিভা বহুগুণে বৃদ্ধি
We'll take another short break. Keep watching.
My name is Shulam Kunya. I'm now currently working at St. Regis, Mumbai. It was my best decision for taking up a course under TDU GKY, sponsored by MORD, Government of India and NSRLM, Nagaland.
Hi, my name is Pinto Bushi. I've completed my automotive service technician. I'm currently working in an auto race dealership as a trainee technician, also known as Parapis.
Hello everyone, my name is Ramsunla Mboying. I did my 3-month course in Food and Beverage Service Assistant from TTU GKY. After my training, I was placed at Radisson Blue Resort, Visakhapatnam.
My name is Kali from Winchong community. Today, I am abroad employed in the Central Park, which is located in Pune.
My name is Magaoli and I'm placed in Indigo as a cabin attendant.
My name is Kimni Shohe and I'm from Nagaland and now I'm placed in Air India as a cabin crew. I want to thank the Government of India, the Government of Nagaland for giving me this opportunity and making my dream come true.
Welcome back. Moving further, a mother-daughter duo was among the 4 people who were killed in the derailment of the Guwahati-bound Northeast Express train. The 2 deceased were residents of Satiyat in Sukya district of Assam. They have been identified as 33-year-old Usha Bandari and her 8-year-old daughter Akriti. The sister-in-law of the deceased has also informed that there were no passengers from Nagaland in a derailed train.
পাইছো তাৰ পৰা এক্সিডেন্টটো কালি ৰাতি হল 10টা বজাত বুলি শুনিছো বিনি বাই আৰু দুজন ছোৱালী আছিল নাম এটা কি কি আছে নাম উষা ভণ্ডাৰী আদিতি ভণ্ডাৰী আকৃতি ভণ্ডাৰী আৰু দীপক ভণ্ডাৰী
ইয়া ক'ত বিয়া হৈছিল আপোনালোকৰ বাইদেউ
নেপালত বিয়া হৈছিল দিল্লীত থাকিছিল তাৰ পৰা আহোঁতে দিল্লীৰ পৰা নেপাল আহোঁতে এক্সিডেন্ট হৈ গ'ল
কালি আপোনালোকে তাৰ আগত অহাৰ আগত কৰ্মসাথী কৰিছিল নে আপুনি?
কৰিছিলোঁ মানে এটি ট্ৰেইনত উঠিম আৰু বুলি কৈছিলে। তাৰপৰা কথা নাই পাতা।
An anti-terrorism seminar is being organized on the 37th Foundation Day of National Security Guard. Naval Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar
emphasize on 4 I's. These are the key pillars which, to my mind, form the bedrock upon which we can build, define enduring solutions against subconventional threats. They are, I would say, intelligence, innovation, integration, and interagency coordination. So starting with the first I would say intelligence. The first line of defense against any subcontinental threat is timely and accurate intelligence. So Bharat in recent years has become more adept at gathering and using intelligence. The GSAT-7 for Bharatiya Nausena is one such example that has allowed us the capability to transfer imagery real time over secure networks. There are 14 intelligence agencies currently operating in Bharat with different and sometimes overlapping mandate. Hence, there is a need to continue working.
SGMA Kanapati said that the country need to be prepared at all times, and through the seminar such scenarios will be discussed and SOPs would be created.
जैसे आप जानते हैं कि NSG रेजिंग डे सेमिनार हर साल होता है। इस साल इसमें हमने थोड़ा सा ये चेंज किया कि सभी स्पेशल फोर्सेस जो है स्टेट्स के और बाकी आर्म फोर्सेस के हैं, सबको एक फोरम पर बुलाया है। NSG द्वारा हर साल हम लोग मल्टी स्टेट, मल्टी सिटी, मल्टी टारगेट मॉक ड्रिल्स करते हैं। मतलब बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर कोई टेरर अटैक, इस तरह का कोई प्रॉब्लम होने पर कैसे उसको रेस्पॉन्ड करना है, इस तरह का मॉक ड्रिल्स करते रहते हैं। हम लोगों ने सोचा कि इसी कड़ी में हम लोगों को सभी स्पेशल फोर्सेस और स्टेट्स और बाकी जो भी इस तरह का फोर्सेस हैं उनको एक फोरम में एकत्रित करके इवन एक्सट्रीम सिनेरियोस पर भी हम लोगों को सिमुलेशन करना चाहिए और एक तैयारी रखना चाहिए। मेन मकसद इस सेमिनार का वही है। और इसके अलावा एज यूजुअल जो टैक्टिकल मैटर्स है, आईईडी से संबंधित बिंदु है, विषय है, उस पर भी चर्चा किया जाएगा।
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.
Support economic development in destinations, but also to facilitate cultural and environmental conservation in heritage sites around the world. Tourism has not